Okay, that works better. I had my headset the wrong way. Uh, Happy holidays, everybody. This is Martin Obiozer, Cooking with Martin. We are live now. It is Christmas Eve, and it crunches on. I have 19 to 21 people. I have to check on the numbers coming in tomorrow, and we have a lot of stuff to prep. And so, as you guys know, I always use a Kanban board to prep everything. So, let me get my portable camera view so you guys can kind of see what's going on. Transition. We're just going to exit studio mode. So here we go. This is the what we have going on right now for Christmas. We're making a whole bunch of stuff. I got to take my glasses off because my eyes are just not seeing. So we have the plan for turkey. We have apple cider happening. We have broth because you have to have turkey broth for whenever you do anything Christmas. We have cheese dip, yeast rolls, meatballs, cornbread dressing. We're doing a ham today. We've got fried turkey. We're actually making an Italian fish stew called a ciappino, making Spanish paella. I actually may make that tonight, but we'll see how I feel. We have ham, stuffed mushroom, julie chopped potatoes, always French green beans, les haricots verts for lots of people who love them the way that I do them. I don't like green bean casserole. It's just too gooey and not really healthy. Scotch eggs, Brussels sprouts. Those of you who've asked me what Scotch eggs are, Scotch eggs are I think it comes from Scotland. I don't know. I'm Nigerian, so we got it from the English who colonized us. And it's where you take a hard-boiled egg, you wrap it in sausage, you bread it, you fry it, and you bake it. So, oh yeah, it's really good. We're doing some mixed vegetables, ginger whipped cream for the pies, fried turkey, and all that kind of good stuff. So for those of you who are wondering kind of what's going on with the colors, the pink means it's an action. The orange means it's a dish that I'm making. So, for example, roast the turkey necks, which is required for the gravy. I don't, because you fry turkey, you don't have giblets, so you have to make them. And so you get turkey necks and gizzards and stuff like that, and you roast them. I tend to roast them in sherry wine, which makes the most amazing gravy that you have. So, the pink means that I am giving myself instructions. And as you know, these are sticky notes, so you can move them on. So today, we have our prep today. So as you can see, certain things are crossed off. I've already brined the turkey. For frying, we're going to be making some cranberry sauce in this stream, probably making a couple of the pies and the desserts. So from a dish perspective, we have cranberry sauce, we have apple pie, pineapple upside down cake, which is my husband's favorite, pumpkin pie, which is also his favorite. We're going to do my carrot cake cupcakes. Yes, that's 3 C's in a row. Oatmeal banana bread, because I have some spoiled bananas, just perfect for that. Um, and I'm not sure if I'm going to do that in loaves or cupcakes. We'll decide as I get there. Chocolate and raspberry tort, which is my accountant Donna's favorite. She calls it Cherries Jubilee. There are no cherries in it. It's actually called a chocolate raspberry tort. We're going to do some Spanish sangria. And so now we had another color. So the blue are prep. So typically the day before a big thing like this, I do a lot of prep. So we have prep for paella where we've got to chop up a bunch of stuff, put them in Ziploc bags so that when we start doing the mass cooking, it becomes really easy. You just grab the things that are there. So there's things like, Scotch eggs, I got to boil the eggs. I got to do removing the stems and cleaning out the inside of the mushroom caps. Um, Potato prep, hibiscus tea prep, Brussels sprout prep. So I think I actually forgot the sticky for the Brussels sprouts. So, oh no, it's right there. And so that's kind of where we are right now, getting everything prepped here. Got our pot here on the stove, and I actually have got my cameras kind of working better. We're going to finish up by doing a little bit of prep work. We're going to get the turkey. This is actually bag is for roasting the turkey giblets, but it's also the same thing for turkey broth. So we have our fish here that we're going to be cutting, which is salmon, and we have some cod that we're going to be chopping up for the ciappino. So we're going to do a little bit of prep and chit-chatting and stuff like that before we get to starting to do some pies. So switching cameras, and I'm going to put the portable cam on the dock right now. before I need to use it again. I'm gonna get my glasses on correctly. So, hoping the views are working right. Yeah, it looks like everything's working, I think, correctly. I might need to switch. So I got some new stuff in my streaming setup, and so I'll need to periodically take a look at. Let me just make sure camera 3 is correctly zoomed out. Something that's that we're on camera 3 right now. Yep, I knew there was something off. Let's fix that just a hair. I want to get there, that corner. There we go. I knew something was off. And then move that up just a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Okay, yeah, that looks better. Um, let's and some of you have asked, like, what are you doing? How are you doing these cameras? I have something called a Mevo. These are wireless cameras. I didn't want to do, people like have DSLRs and that kind of thing. I'm just kind of like, nah. Um, oh, and I just realized I totally forgot on my laptop here. I need to get the chat running. Let's see if I can get my unified chat to work. Um, and there we go. Yep. It's been kind of interesting seeing what's going on here, making sure, hoping Facebook is working. Yep, it is working. So I just wanted to make sure I can get the chat kind of together and what's going on the stream. Okay, all right. Yeah, I have my laptop that helps me do the stream and manage all the overlays and all that good stuff. All right, so now that we have what we need here, we're going to exit. Yeah, just go to another app, which is my Stream Deck, so it makes it easier. All right, so we're going to do a little bit of turkey prep right now. That's where we're at right now. So we're gonna do chopping up some stuff, and we'll kind of walk you through how that works. Um, and so here we have where I'm doing kind of stuff. Let's see how that's looking. Yep. We have our Ziploc bag. What we're doing right now is we're prepping for the it's basically the gravy broth, but it's not really broth. So what I do is, because I fry turkey, you don't have drippings. That's how you make turkey gravy. So I discovered, so I actually think that's a better thing, because now you can jazz up the gravy. And so I found that if the essence of any kind of broth is bones of the animal that you're using. And so in this case, the most bony part of the animal is the neck. And so if you get a bunch of turkey necks, that makes broth. So that's how I make turkey broth, and it's also how I make the gravy. But what I do differently is I'll take the turkey necks, I will salt them, season them, and then roast them in a bed of vegetables and herbs. So you can see I have bay leaves all up in here, and so, and as a matter of fact, it may be easier just to do the close-up alone. Close-up, there we go. Uh-huh. Mister, I'm ready for my close-up. There we go. Uh-oh. I gotta go fix that overlay. It's one of the overlays is being annoying. I swear I just fixed this. There we go. It's not on screen the way it was supposed to be. So it's going to look a little weird. Stuff's moving around. I know for you guys, just give it a second. It will stop soon. There we go. And we're locking it in place so that that doesn't happen again. Thought I had fixed all of them. There we go. So as we were working right now, we are chopping up vegetables. So we always roast them in a mirepoix. Mirepoix is a French word for the combination of celery, onions, and carrots. And so now I've done the celery and onions, it's time for the carrots. I will also add garlic into it. And so because this is roasting, this isn't going to be seen by anybody. What we do is we'll roast the turkey necks for about an hour and a half tomorrow. But I'm prepping for that, so put them because oven space on a day when you're doing 15 plus hours of cooking is tight. So you gotta coordinate. So that's part of why we do all of this prep. Um, it's really nice to make sure that everything is the way you want them. So, the look of the celery is not even that important. A little bit of rot. It's actually not rot. My fridge is so cold, it actually freezes things, so it froze the celery a little bit. That's fine, I got several heads. My husband and my mom are at his church right now, doing the early Christmas evening celebration. And going in and trying to fix that chat screen so I can see them side by side. There we go. This way I can now see both of you guys together. And so we are just dealing with streaming technical problems, but not quite. It's just streaming's being annoying. There we go. They're all working now. So just like I said, we're going to make a mirepoix. Again, we're not using the mirepoix today, but what will happen is we're going to roast this celery, onions, carrots. That's the mirepoix. I have some bay leaves in that bag. And then we'll add salt and thyme in the morning, and a little bit of some black pepper. And then we put in, well, actually, we put the turkey next. That's when we salt and pepper. And then I put in about a cup and a half, maybe 2 cups of sherry wine. It doesn't matter if you have cream sherry, dry sherry. I'm actually going to use cream sherry because I think cream sherry is that slight sweetness, and the cream sherry is actually going to be interesting. Um, you just want to use that, and so the turkeys turkey necks will roast in the oven for about an hour and a half on about 350, 375, even doing it in convection. And then after that, you let it cool, and then you add turkey broth to it, strain, and boil that. You literally boil the turkey necks because there's a lot of liquid and fond at the bottom. You're going to boil it, and then that gets all that goodness out. So we have done turkey prep. Oh no, we're missing one ingredient. We're missing the garlic. So maybe some pieces of garlic. Just chop off the bad parts. I always get a giant bag of garlic. Get those industrial-sized bags of garlic and with in this kind of garlic, you're not really chopping it that well. This is a beyond rough chop. But yeah, I get those really large bags of garlic from Sam's because I have a huge family here that I cook for, and it is like $8.99 for the giant bag. And the version in Sam's is better than the version in Costco. I don't know what it is with Costco and the garlic, but the garlic literally spoils after a couple of days from Costco. I don't know why. It's one of 2 things that I never buy from Costco. Raspberries are the other. Costco raspberries are the worst that I have ever seen in my life. They barely last 1 day. I mean, they start rotting by the time you get out of the store. It's kind of amazing. But and they don't taste as good, even though they're the same. Oh, I don't know what brand, that standard brand of raspberries, but every time I buy them from Costco, and their organic versions are even worse than the non-organic, which is not normally true of things. It's just the ones from Costco, and I actually love Costco. It's just those 2 things I cannot buy at Costco because they go bad. So always if you're going to buy big bulk bag of garlic, get it from Sam's. This bag I bought 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, and it's still good. Yes, pieces, but you're just doing a rough chop. You're not even chopping off the ends because, again, this is not, you're going to strain all of this, so you actually want all the ends and the leaves and stuff like that. When you make broth, or turkey broth. You'll see when I prepare, I take the celery ends, the leafy parts of the celery are really important um, that in making turkey broth. Turkey broth is used all over the day in Christmas and Thanksgiving cooking, so you just do that with turkey necks, simmer and slow. Um, and so it's going to be used to deglaze the necks when they are roasted. And then once you boil it there, you thicken it, and then you have the most awesome turkey giblet gravy. I actually add giblets, so I will fry the gizzards and stuff like that, chop them up really small, and then add it to the gravy with shallots and stuff like that. And now you have an amazing turkey giblet gravy. All right, we have now completed our garlic that is going to go into this bag. And again, this is for turkey gravy. So Ziploc bags make the best because now I can prep, I can get everything I need done, and then I label it. This is turkey gravy, if you can spell. Well, I know my own handwriting is terrible. And that's that. So we have that. Next thing we're going to prep is actually some same set of ingredients, but we're going to do the broth. So it's turkey broth again. It's turkey neck, same things, but we're actually going to boil that. So for that, I actually normally like to get the leafy celery because I want the leafy parts of the celery. So I'm going to go get that from my fridge. Um, I want that in the bag. And again, we're not boiling that today. We're going to be um, using that tomorrow. We're just prepping for that. So one of the nice things that's happened is we will switch to the photo cam view, but what's actually interesting is now we have completed the gravy prep, and the fresh herbs are already in a bag. You notice that it said fresh herbs and you didn't see fresh herbs in that bag? That's because they they were on sale at HEB. I got this most amazing bag from HEB, poultry blend. These were like $2.99 in HEB. They're giant bags too. So it's sage, rosemary, and thyme. And so we're going to add that. We're just going to put that tomorrow in the bag. So um, coming back to what we're going to do, we're now going to work on turkey gravy prep. Sorry, turkey broth prep. And this will be interesting. Oh, I have a question. Somebody's asking. Oh, hi. How are y'all doing? Great to see y'all. Have a happy holidays. I'm hoping everything is going well for all of you. Just like I said, love cooking, and good to see everybody here on the stream. And so, where are we now? We are letting that broadcast actually function correctly. Here we go. And getting streaming when you're teching your own stream is just interesting. I wish I could pay somebody to help me, but it's kind of fun. All right, so I'm gonna switch to the close-up view, and I'll start by rough chopping some celery and leaves. Notice the leaves are coming in. And this is the celery. It's incredibly good. So if you're making chicken soup, those of you who've ever had my Jewish chicken soup, the Jewish grandmother taught me how to make it, and then I added some changes that Diane Diane, if you're out there, I love you, I miss you, I hope it's not too cold up there in Maine. I had some changes that she taught me with her version of chicken soup. And so I normally, and then things that I learned from, of all people, Julia Child, who is the wondress of cooking. And so one of the things Julia Child says, yes, you want the celery leaves. Those are very healthy. They taste amazing. So, because when you make chicken soup, you're going to boil the chicken slowly in the vegetables. Same thing I'm going to do with the turkey next to make turkey broth. You're going to do that in a mirepoix. So again, we're making celery, onions. Here's half an onion. I'm actually going to do a 1.5 because it's this is going to go into a large pot. Let's grab the bag that we're dumping all of this into. Looks like my husband and my mom are back. They look like they had fun and got into mischief. Mom likes to get into mischief these days since the stroke. It's hilarious watching the two of them. All right, so we just need a little bit more celery. I don't even peel the stalks out because this entire head of celery is going to be used across several things. So this is just the first set. That's how you get. Good. Now you get chopped celery. Alrighty. There we go. And like I said, this mirepoix that we are making. Uh-oh. Yeah, there we go. This mirepoix that we're making is, again, similar to how you make chicken soup. So you're going to do a mirepoix, celery, onions, carrot. If you're doing chicken soup, I might add garlic. It depends on the flavoring I'm going for, because chicken soups can have interesting things, but you slowly boil it. I do a whole chicken carcass. If you can get chicken necks, I'm lucky that I live in a place where you can actually go to the grocery store and buy chicken necks in a bag similar to turkey necks. I can get them at HEB. But I actually do a whole chicken, and so you want not a fryer, you want the other kind of chicken. So the fryers are designed for frying, better for frying. The other ones that are large, those are designed really for chicken soup. And you want more bone than anything, so I will take the whole chicken. I may not even cut it up. I'll actually dump the whole chicken into the pot as is, because what you want to do is you want to cook it, but it's better if you have additional necks because you want that flavor in. And so as you're making you do put it in the mirepoix, boil it, salt, thyme, sage. Sage is the key chicken soup and turkey broth ingredient, as is thyme, and of course, and then salt. And that's all you need to do. Don't do seasoned salt. Seasoned salt tastes terrible in chicken soup. You just want regular salt, kosher salt, sea salt, whatever. And then you boil it for like 3 to 4 hours. People who've had my chicken soup, and I'll carry you're out there, that I make for people who I find out they're sick. It's, again, I altered it from a Jewish lady and from Diane Webb. Diane's not Jewish, but she's lived with lots of Jewish people and got her version combined with stuff Julia Child taught me. Do it for 4 hours, and man, that chicken is ready to fall off the bone. And when you do it, you'll turn it off. You're going to strain this. So you're not going to use the vegetables from the first round. You're actually going to strain it, throw out all the stuff except for the meat. Keep the liquid. If you want to cool it and strain the oil out, the best thing is, if you're going to do it like over a couple of days, you just put that liquid in the fridge. And by the way, when you do things like carrots and vegetables, because we're making a stock, you actually use the heads. You use all parts of the vegetable that we're going to be using. But yeah, once you have now the amazing golden turkey broth or chicken broth, and then after that you can then chop up really nice carrots. Like I usually get the kinds that are crinkle cut because they just look really good in soup. And then I'll do new celery, and then I'll shave off all the meat, boil that, add maybe a little bit more salt and maybe a few more flavorings, a little bit more sage to take that up if there's not enough salt, and that's it. And then you have the amazing chicken soup. For those of you who've had it, it's actually that simple. People call it kind of crack on a stick, crack in a bowl. That's what I think Chuck called that. A couple of people call that. It's really fun. And here in this part of the country, it is starting to get cold. It is hot. It is hot today. It was in the low 70s, upper 60s. We had a torrential downpour all yesterday, and then around 2:30, 2 o'clock, the sun came out. I mean, it's bright and clear as it is. You can see the full moon outside, and we're going to have a really looks like it's going to be a nice Christmas day, but it's going to start getting cold. It'll go down into the 30s Christmas Eve evening. And 30s is not normal for Houston, Texas. We're nearly subtropical, so it's not supposed to do that in these neck of the woods. So again, I'm just rough chopping the carrots. Again, this is my mirepoix for those of you who just kind of came in. We're just doing some turkey prep, and so this is turkey broth, which is used all day. And what I do is the leftover turkey broth, strain, and I just put it in the fridge because as the turkey, before it goes bad, I don't like throwing away food, so we will turn the leftover turkey that's fried into turkey soup or turkey tetrazzini. All of those need turkey broth, so you don't want to use chicken broth with turkey. Turkey tastes really different, only except in cornbread dressing. All right, we have now chopped up our, my husband's back. My husband is now back, and so y'all can't see him, he's off camera. But he looks grumpy. My mom's driving him nuts, and mom does that. We all love her, but she can drive people nuts. Add just one more stick of celery. I was looking at that bag. It's just just a little low. Then we're going to add the bay leaves in the bag. I use a lot of bay leaves. I usually use like 5 to 7 every time. People are like, oh, use one. Nope. Bay leaf is some good stuff, so I will dump a lot of bay leaves in there. That's about what we're going to do. And then that will go into a pot in the morning with the turkey and just simmer for 2 hours on the stove as we're making bread in the morning and stuff like that. So again, not having to do all this chopping in the morning is how you make up time, by doing a lot of stuff the night before. So we now have enough celery, because I was looking, it just didn't look right. All right, so we're going to take our half onion, and then a whole onion will be added, because I need a lot more onion in this. I am peeling the skin. You can actually use the skin. It's actually annoying to fish out, but it's actually quite healthy when you're making a stock or a broth. In this case, I'm making a stock because people are like, oh, bone broths. I hate all those terms because that's not what they're supposed to be. Stock is made from the bones of an animal. Broth is made from the meat of the animal. So, because I think bone broth is you use sort of the meat. If you're using any part of the meat, you are really making a broth. And so stock is made by roasting. So like the thing I'm making with the turkey is almost like a turkey stock with a gravy. And then this that's boiled will be a broth. But what's really happening is when you actually cook bones, so that's great how you make beef stock, low and slow, like at 150 to 200 degrees for like 6-7 hours until it's full. So you really slow. And then once that is roasted over a mirepoix, then you add liquid and boil that liquid. That is stock. I hope that makes sense. As opposed to, I've heard of this bone broth nonsense and all these stuff that there's marketing. There's no such real thing. It's either turkey broth, or it's either broth or stock. Stock is where you just take the meat from the animal and boil it in a mirepoix, typically, and with some salt, slowly, always, in there. Okay, so this is half of the onion. I needed the other whole onion, and then we're done. There will be no garlic in this because although garlic is great in a turkey broth, because this broth is going to be used in a whole bunch of different things like dressing. Cornbread dressing cannot have garlic. Garlic in that tastes really. This is Kathy Riemann. I don't know if you're watching, Kathy. This is your grandmother's recipe. No garlic, bad. Garlic, bad. And so I don't add garlic to the broth. If I'm making a soup, and I knew I was just going to make turkey soup, then I would add garlic, because garlic in turkey soup tastes great. But when it comes in the cornbread dressing, it tastes not so great. So just peeling that onion, and because this is a smaller onion, and I had a half of one. I don't know if you guys have gone to the grocery store and gotten those gigantic onions. The first onion, that half that I put in initially was half of one of those gigantic onions. And I was like, okay, well, then we'll just substitute it with a normal size onion because this needs to have a little bit more onion. And again, these are rough chops because this is, again, stock. There we go. All right, now we are done. So we have now prepped for the broth. We're going to do one more set of prep, which is for the chia pino. Because I want to get that fish back in the fridge. So, there we go. Our turkey broth, woohoo, in a bag. So we Ziploc seal. Ziplocs are like the greatest invention in the universe. I don't know who thought of that, but they are awesome. I'm using a paper towel because I got water, and if when you do that, the dry erase marker is not going to work correctly. All right, this is turkey broth. All right, that's done. And we'll dump that into the fridge. And now we get to the joy of doing this is getting to go here to oh goodness, what did I, oh, there it is, a dry erase marker, and get to mark things off. So we have done turkey broth, and we did the gravy. Where is the gravy? Collard greens, gravy. Okay, we already do that. So what we're gonna, dressing prep we're gonna do later. We're gonna do the cioppino prep right now. Um, and then we'll start making some of the desserts. And so cioppino is gonna use all of this fish in there. So I'm going to change the scene really quick, and what I need to do is alter what's saying in the recipe. So we're doing CIOPPI. So we know what that is. And done. All right. All right. So cioppino is an Italian stew. It's an Italian fish stew. It requires a whole bunch of types of fish, clams, oysters. It's really hearty, really nice. And so to prep for it, we're going to do a whole bunch of different vegetables that will be separated into little bags. The first thing we're going to do is a leek. And these are what leeks are. I think I actually need two of these because these are small leeks, or maybe there's there's a giant one inside of the bag. There we go, right here. And so these are in the onion family. I'm gonna keep the other two because they'll be used for something else. These are in the onion family, and how you prep a leek. This is where what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sort of have the phone cam moving around. So let's just set that up. Here we go. Alright, so here is, let's see how that looks on the phone cam. Do, 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 do. Uh-oh. I don't know what just happened. There we go. Sorry about that. That was my Stream Deck is being weird. It's like I need to go here, go back to the remote. I think I just need to exit the, it's like it's not letting me switch. Um, it gets confused periodically. There we go. Now we have our phone view because without my Stream Deck, I cannot do that. So the reason why we're going to do the phone view is it's going to enable us to. Uh-oh, I think I connected my phone wrong. Oh, I did. Okay, hold on. This is what happens when you tech your own stream, so I actually need the phone the other way. All right, there we go. Because then I can do that phone view. Okay, now I can do stuff. All right. So part of why we are here on the phone view um, is it helps us show you guys how you clean leaks, because leaks are a complicated thing, and I learned this from Alton Brown. And so what we're going to do is we're going to first chop the leek and get all the green parts off. This part, put it in your compost heap. You kind of don't need it. Um, then what we're going to do is you remove any parts of it that are, ugh, that are rotten. It's just one layer. But if you look inside here, I don't know how well, you can probably see the sand right here. It's a lot of dirt. You don't want that in your food. So what you do is you're going to cut it just a millimeter from the end. Do not chop this part off at the tail. You're going to cut this, and we're going to make go all the way here. We're going to turn it 90 degrees and do the same thing that way, so you get quarters. Does that make? I hope that makes sense. And so now it is split in two, and then we're going to turn it 90 degrees and do it again. All right. Now you have, notice, do you see all that dirt? See all that dirt? Nasty. Don't want that in your food because this is a root crop. So what you now do, because it's like this, it's fan, cold water, you just run it through your cold water. And because it's open like this, it's easy for the sand come off. So that's all you do. You're just going to fan it through like that. You're going to fan it through and let the water through it, and the water will take that sand and dirt out so it's not in your food. Again, and you need to spread the leaves so that you're making sure that water is penetrating, because there's a membrane inside of the leek that repels the dirt, so it's not sticking to it, it's just there because it grew from the ground. Yeah, there you go. And then once you're done, take it, do a little squeeze, get some of that water up, and now you have your leek, and you can now just slice it. And I like to do it as at a eighth of an inch. Leeks are optional in cioppino. I like the flavor of a leek with the onion, but they have to be put into the pot separately. So unlike the roasting mirepoix that we're making, and there is a mirepoix in this, we will be making a mirepoix, all the ingredients need to be separate because they go into the pot at different times. So now that this is getting close to the end, that's kind of a nice thing about doing it this way, because now all you're doing is you have just this that you just toss. And now we have now chopped up the leek. So we'll put that into a mini Ziploc bag. I got these little sandwich bags right here, and I'm gonna switch to the main and close-up. So I got these little sandwich bags here. We'll move our camera off screen. So now we can and so now we have our leeks already chopped. They actually, when you're cooking, leeks take a long time to cook, so they go into the pan first, then the onions, then the garlic, then that garlic can even, because you don't want your garlic to burn. So those are my leeks. I will then add my celery. So we're gonna, again, like I said, we're making a mirepoix. Very important French concept. The Cajun version of a mirepoix is called the Holy Trinity, so you use that for gumbo. And the Holy Trinity is celery, onions, and green pepper. No carrots. No carrots in Cajun cooking. Actually, there are carrots for certain things. And almost, because I know how much we're making, we're going to actually use the rest of this entire head of celery. And what's actually going to happen is the root part, I'm actually going to add into the turkey bag for turkey stock, because this root is really good. The root of a celery, just make sure it's clean. Most times celery is clean, but like this little nubbin right here, actually very good stuff. Put that in your, anytime you're making stock, that's some good stuff for stock. Not good eats for chipino, but good eats for stock. So these two little pieces I'm going to put in the turkey bag that we just did, so that they will boil. All right, so now we have our celery. This might be, no, that's about right. It's a little too much celery. Just a little bit more much, but it's going to be okay. We have a big pot of cioppino we're making. Cioppino takes about 45 minutes, an hour to make. The hardest part is the prepping. All right, now we have our celery. Next, we're going to do our carrots. I'm going to do 2 carrots. You don't want too much carrot in a cioppino. Refresh. Hi, Lauren. Hi. Want to offer. So just checking chat. Hi, Lauren. I see you're there. And like I said, we're doing prep right now for the cioppino, the Italian fish stew. And again, all these ends are really good for your broth and stock, so I'm actually keeping them. But we're now going to continue making our mirepoix, and unlike, again, what was I trying to say? You actually don't want the stem or the leaves of celery in the cioppino. That's not the right thing. That's good for just the stock. So you can put this in a food processor, but I actually like the tactile feel of chopping things when I'm doing stuff like this. It feels good. I will use a machine for the because for the what's it called stuffing or cornbread dressing, when you have to chop that, they actually have to be fine. In a cioppino and broth, these actually don't have to be that fine. So I want about 1/8 of an inch carrot chops because you don't want a giant piece of carrot in your soup. And so a cioppino, I think, comes from Italy. There's a version of it in Portugal um, that I've had. I've actually had a version of that Portuguese. I think it's called Portuguese hapa. I've had it in Brazil. It's kind of interesting. And so, uh-oh, I lost my stream. Oh no, it's there. I just gotta love Microsoft Windows some days. It just decides that something is important and I'm gonna tell you about it right now. That's what it just did. Okay. Again, looking for an eighth of an inch um, in this. And so, there we go. And there we go. Um, and so, this will go into the bag for the carrots. Do I need that nub? Let me see how much carrots I have. No, this is actually enough carrots, so this little piece will be used for something else. So you don't want too much carrots in it. About, because for the amount of things I'm doing, it's about, so if you have a cup of celery, you want 3/4 a cup of carrots. You want equal parts celery and onion. Just a little less carrots. But because I have leeks, I don't need as much onion as I normally do, because that is part of the family. So, excellent. So now we got our celery. I'm sorry, our carrots cut. Now, the onion. Uh-oh, where are my onions? Oh, that's right, that's right, that's right. I used all the old ones. What did I do with the new ones? There they are. That is gigantic. Good thing I have other things. This one's huge. It's one of those gigantic ones. We will not use a whole of this. We're probably just going to use half of this. The other half will go into the paella and the other prep. So, sorry I had to mute. I was talking to my husband. So the herring things that are going on. This is how I rough chop an onion. So, I need that Ziploc. Oh, missing one. So again, prep is the key to how I can do so many things at the same time, because the longest part of cooking is all this stuff, is the prep work. By the way, the secret to having onions that you don't fry is put them in the fridge. When the onion is in the fridge, it prevents that aerosolizing of the chemical that irritates your eye. Let's see, are there any questions coming in? Uh, yeah, Lauren, can you tell me if the sounds is back? I think it is. So there we go. Yeah, I had to mute for a second, so but I should be back now. All right, so we have now chopped and prepped all of this stuff, and so we have our right here um, leeks, onions, celery. Sorry, carrots, celery. So carrots, these three make the mirepoix. And then we're adding leeks. We'll actually also add garlic, but the garlic will be done in the morning because there's no point. I just do it as I'm putting it into the pot. So now we're just gonna put these in here. Um, this is the what am I gonna call it? The soft part of the software, as Alton Brown would say, for the Chiappino. So this is part one for the Chiappino. So the next piece of the Chiappino is we gotta cut the fish. So Chiappino, and then take this, put in the fridge. Next thing we're going to prep is the fish. Um, and so there's many kinds of fish that we use. You want to have, when you're doing a cioppino, you want very fleshy fish, strong fish, mahi-mahi, salmon, and cod. These are fish that won't fall. You don't want tilapia. Tilapia falls apart. So something like mahi-mahi. Tuna would probably work well. Just the flavor of tuna is a little strong. I get these. These are really, fish is really well priced here if you go to the right place. Kroger, frozen cod. This bag is $9 for 3 pounds. So we're going to do one of these and a lot of salmon. So we're gonna be getting all the fish ready. Let me switch to the main and close-up cam. So we're gonna prepare this. The good thing about these is they're already, they've removed the bottom of the fish, so all that nasty stuff, you don't have to clean the fish. It would be awesome to, if you hunt, if you go fishing to get, I said hunt, but it's kind of nice because these come in these nice little packets like this, and so you just put them in. And so what we're actually going to do is we're actually going to cut them and put them into a colander to let all the liquid before we put them in the Ziploc bag, because it just keeps making a lot of liquid.